Okay. Why don't we need guilt or wait, I already read that one. Next chapter, folks. Sorry. Does evil exist? Yes. 3 exclamation points, folks. Now is the time to present an important paradox. If you are worried about being evil, you most likely are not evil. True evil does not allow for self-doubt or self-examination. Read M. Scott Peck's book, People of the Light, for a comprehensive and enlightening discussion of the natures of evil. Oh, I might get that book. That'll be my next book I do. Because I'm on a mission here, folks. I'm going to use YouTube, what it was originally intended for, and that's to help people, okay? And what it's turned into is just another mainstream media outlet. A bunch of talking heads telling you how to live and how to breathe and sell you stuff, right? Anyway, are evil and being bad the same thing? No. We can and will do bad things. Inappropriate, uncaring, pain-filled behaviors. Because we are human and therefore we are not perfect. These behaviors do not define us as evil people. The mistake is similar to guilt, overgeneralizing from a behavior to the whole. If we choose to continually commit behaviors which are painful to others and to ourselves, we may become evil. An examination of conscience is required to let us know when to stop, when to change, and when to make amends. If we continue along doing damage to ourselves and to others without questioning our behaviors, and if we refuse to acknowledge that we may be doing harm, then we are vulnerable to becoming evil. The underlying assumption of the theory behind self-esteem is that we are good. Lacking a conscience does not mean evil, rather it means sickness or handicap. In much the same way that lacking a limb means a handicap. The nature of evil implies choice. We cannot choose or be held responsible for choice if we do not have the necessary qualifications of making that choice. Evil can be defined as choosing not to do good. It most often is seen in those who put all their energy into looking good and choose not to examine themselves. Evil requires the opposite of self-esteem. There can be no exploration of the self, no responsibility for the consequences, and no acceptance of the ability to do wrong, in parentheses, to be human. Interestingly, the externalizations which occur in the circular process of guilt can be conducive to becoming evil. It is easy to imagine an evil person expressing guilt but never changing, doing evil and blaming others. The safest way to avoid evil is to practice self-esteem and recognize that we are all imperfect. Plain and simple, to the point, folks. Let's go on to the next one here. Why am I good? There is essentially a philosophical question which is only asked in therapy after the client begins questioning the doing model. This previous training in the nature of good and evil, most of us go through life assuming that we are not good and we need to be punished or controlled or contained, as our true natures are bad. What do you think all the religions are teaching you? You don't deserve. You were born into sin is one of the things they teach you. It's not true. And that right out the gate, you're told that you were born bad, okay? But you weren't born bad, folks, okay? We need to be punished. That's another one. Okay, that's right out of the Bible. You know, you know, I'm not a good person. I need to be punished because I need the blood of Jesus to cleanse me of my sins, right? You choose to be what you are. I just read you one chapter that evil does exist, and people are making the choice to be evil. Okay, you're not born with that. You're not born into, oh, I'm just going to go out and be evil, right? That's what this born into sin thing, that's why it's such not true, okay? And that comes from the Bible, okay? And probably all the other religious books out there. Anyway, one school of thought defines man as essentially bad. From this philosophy evolved the need for power and control. For our institutions, here we go, such as church and state, to control the masses, okay? These institutions use punishment and strong discipline to keep order, to frighten into submission. That's the hell thing, right? To prevent the spreading of our inherent badness. This school of thought believes that man cannot make decisions and needs strong leadership. So, quotations, dictatorship. That's we live under a dictatorship, folks. You just don't know it. In the United States. All over the planet, actually. They're called the rulers of us. To prevent the crowd from running amok, which is us, right? William Golding's Lord of the Files is a frightening novel based on this philosophical belief. Oh, wow. There's another book. The opposite school of thought chooses to believe that man is inherently good of God. And that when presented with a choice, prefers to do goodness, even though it may be more difficult and more confusing over evil. The paradox of this choice is that while choosing goodness is not the choice, it does result in an easier life. Often, the good choice may not feel right, while the easier choice may feel initially better, but may result in a form of evil. A perfect example of this paradox is the concept of caretaking. Our doing model defines all caretaking behaviors as good. However, a large number of caretaking behaviors are not good. People who are being taken care of cannot feel a sense of mastery or control over their own lives. Therefore, the choice of goodness and the control over this choice belongs to the caretaker rather than the person who is being taken care of, which is the opposite of the intention. A form of evil may exist when the caretaker takes all credit for the action and does not allow the recipient to have any power or control for the ensuing consequences. In this case, the initial choice not to caretake may be the good choice, but it will not be the easy one. Making choices involves learning and practice. Practice your goodness is a trial and error process. You are good! Exclamation point. You can choose to practice your goodness. You can assume responsibility for your life and your behaviors. You can take care of yourself. You can believe in your own and in others' goodness. In this way, you can become a role model for goodness. You have the choice, folks, to do the right thing. Accept yourself as you are. Get up in the morning and say you love yourself. I love you, whatever your name is. I say it more than once. You're worthy of love. You're a good person. You don't deserve any of the bad. Don't feel guilty about it. Accept what you've done. Take responsibility for it. And get on with your life, folks. And if you're in a bad relationship, leave it and get out of it. Because you're never going to get healthy if you're in a toxic relationship. And then don't jump into another one. Okay? Anyway, Douglas Bickford will have more later for you. You all have a great day out there.